Today is October 18th, 2025. I am with Will Robertson from Utah, great state of Utah. And once again, he's been a familiar face lately. Will's been with me a little bit over a month now, and he has some information he's got to get off his chest. And he wrote me the other day and he said something to the effect of that I am changing his life. And I'm not so sure what that means. But we'll go ahead and get into it. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing well, thanks. Happy to be here with you today.
Nice. So, how long have you been trading with Take Profit Trader? Approximately.
About a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I had been pretty attached to Top Step for a very long time, and you were the one that convinced me to switch over. I heard your concerns. Their platform. I do love their UI. I think they've done a really good job with the design. I like their stats and stuff. There's little things about it that are nice, but what it really comes down to is what are the most favorable conditions for a trader? And I really like that they give you a little bit more money up front, but once you pass the test, they give you a free credit to be able to create the pro account, and it ends up being cheaper than Top Step in the long run, assuming you pass and you move to funded. But the biggest draw is that once you actually have the accounts fully buffered, so on a 50K account, you just need to get $2,000. So if you grow it to 52,000. Once you're there, anything in excess beyond that, you can take payouts every single day. And
with Take Profit Trader.
Yeah, with Take Profit. With Top Step, you got to do you need to have 5 green days in a row, which a green day is 200 or more. But so at best, unless you're trading the accounts individually, and you should, you could take a payout.
Wait a minute. Individually, and you should. Did I tell you can work on your skill a lot better that way?
Yes,
individually, and you should. Man, you're a changed man. One thing about Will. One thing about you. This is a compliment, okay? This is a compliment. One thing about you and your personality, your will to survive, no pun intended, your willingness to learn, willingness to listen and apply that information. I mean, it's second to none in a sense that when I tell you something, you give pause, you think about it, you do whatever you need to do, and then you implement it. And me, I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm not going to tell you my opinion. So with that, you have given a lot of trust in what I say, and I really appreciate that. But the most important thing is you actually apply the information that I give you, and you trust in what I say. And what are the results from that? I mean,
yeah, I will speak a little to the results. I will say that I do want to mention something regarding that. I do feel like I'm not attached to ideas that I have. I'm pretty quick to discard something if it's not serving me. And for me, it's kind of easy here because you just have a lot more experience than me. And so, I'm just taking the information you're giving me and adjusting as necessary. And it has been working. You're right. I was attached to copy trading. I've abandoned that, and this past 2 weeks has been awesome. With Top Step, at most you can do is maybe get a payout once a week on an account if you do well on it. With Take Profit, I've been able to get a payout practically every other day, and so in 2 weeks now I've had 6 payouts. And the first week, I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head. I shared it with you. They were approximately $4,500 the first week, and then this week I did a little bit more than that. It was over 6,000. I'm trying to remember the exact amount.
Yeah.
I sent it to you.
It was close. It was close to 11,000 or something like that, or a little bit over 11,000
between the two weeks. Yeah. So in the past 2 weeks, I made $11,000, which is insane to me.
And it's money that's going to go into your pocket, right?
Yes,
that's realized gains. So that's realized gains. Are you just taking a bounce, or you have subjectivity in your trading style, or how are you getting?
Taking a bounce. What do you mean by taking a bounce?
The old saying, just take a bounce and win more than you lose.
Oh yeah, totally. Man, it's been awesome. I do feel like most of my trades have been pretty precise. Like I showed you on Friday, I woke up a little early that morning. I'm in Mountain Standard Time, and I started trading. I want to say it was like about 5 o'clock our time, and by like 6:20 I was done. I traded gold and NASDAQ, and almost every single time I would enter, it would just move like straight to profit. I sent you a picture, a screenshot of a few of the trades I took. It was awesome. I would say this in the past 2 weeks, there was only maybe like 2 trades where they started going against me quite a bit, but I was sized in enough that I didn't really mind, and I just kind of held on to the position. One of them, it just started changing structure entirely, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna reverse the position, and that ended up working out for me. The other one I just held, and I was able to hold it until it came back into profit. But almost every trade has just been like very precise. I find that if I really just follow your guidelines, I'm not impatient, I don't oversize, works out great. It's been amazing. Like, it really does feel, I've said this before, it feels like cheating. It's amazing. And this has been 2 weeks now where I will say this too, like I made in trading effectively like more, about as much or more than I do at my day job, which is crazy. So like putting less time into it, and than I am stuck at the office. So it's been like kind of eye-opening, like, wow, this I don't know, maybe one day this could just be my career entirely, which would be nice.
Well, if you decided to do your own thing and not follow the systematic approach that I give you, you're only going to get better, and it only gets better, and it gets really boring. So you're going to have to find something else to do. You're going to have to find something else to do, because when you can go ahead and get in the market for 30 seconds or a few minutes and you're done for the day, you need to find something else to do to keep yourself healthy and busy, and not, just go ahead and take it and realize those gains and move on. So what's great about the position that you're in and taking these payouts is a year from now, the end of year from now, next year, 1 year in this program, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit, because it's all about leverage.
Yeah.
So it's all about leverage. So if hypothetically, because the trading's going to be the same, so if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it becomes like eating a sandwich or drinking or anything else. I mean, or driving. You don't even think about it, right? You see the chart pops up, you know exactly if you should be going short or long, depending on what the chart looks like, right? And I taught you that. That's not going to get any harder. It only gets easier from here. So if you are banking $11,000 in a week or so with these prop firms, and you're with one prop firm, which I would suggest only just trade one prop firm at a time and reap the rewards. Your skill is going to reward you. Good behavior will reward you. And how do you feel about that? Like, what is your family or your loved ones or whoever you're with? Like, I mean, it's a skill. Like, it's literally like driving. I don't know how else to explain it. How would you explain it?
Yeah, it is a skill, because the actions, if you're doing it right, like all of the behaviors are the same. You're looking for the same cues to enter to each of the trades, and the way you execute it should be the same. And so yeah, it is like any other skill you develop. I can see I can see what you mean by like it could get really boring. But for me, it's still like exciting, because I'm new to these payouts now. I mean, I'm only 6 in, and so it's new and it's exciting. But I can see how it just becomes routine.
Routine.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the charts every morning, it is very routine. I pretty much only I trade gold and NASDAQ, and I'll just kind of look at both of them and figure out which one has more favorable price action. And then that's the one that I then focus on. And just be patient, wait for it to form, take the trade, go to the next one. And I've kind of been, I'll grow, the way I've been doing it so far is I'll grow the account to a little over $1,000, like about 1,300 or so. So then when they take the 20%, I end up getting about like 1,000. And this particular day, though, this last week, Friday, was price was ripping, and I kind of both directions, honestly, and I was taking it from both ways. And
no way, how can you do that?
I know, it was crazy. Like it helps to not be like attached. And when I used to trade prior to meeting you, I would get really fixated on a bias, and I would be like, it's going up, and then I would just stick with that bias where I really don't care. Like, I just kind of watch it. I'm like, oh, we're going up, now we're going down. And then I just wait for the right moment to enter. I took trades both directions on Friday and scalped about 2,700. And I finished around 6:30 my time. And in my head, I'm thinking like, man, there's still like so many hours. I could keep going, but I also didn't want to like press it. I was like, I'm satisfied with this. I'm just gonna call it a day and get the payout and just wait till next week.
Great.
So it's been awesome. You asked me about my family. Even though I'm doing these interviews and like talking about it, there's very few people I've actually like told about in my personal life. There's not even a lot of people that really know that I have been trading for 2 years. I find that some people, like when you talk to them about trading, they either don't understand it or they just assume that it's gambling. And I don't really have the patience or the energy to always like explain to them, like, yeah, it can be gambling, but you really can develop an edge, in the market.
A skill. An edge can be gambling too, with probabilities.
Yes.
On which that's not the probability that I teach, nor do I want to ingest in the mentees or their mindset, right? Because it's skill, right? When an employer hires on character, right? They can teach a skill. If we think about this, right?
Yeah.
So character is number one also, and then a skill. You can hire someone with character, someone that's willing to learn, someone that's willing to listen and willing to apply. And once you teach them that skill, you have a winner, right? You have character and you have the skill. So if it's not objective, and it's continue to be opinionated, and then when they ask, well, how do you know that? Or how did you come to that conclusion? And you don't have an answer for that to actually show them, then it becomes whether they're going to second guess what you're actually saying. But what's amazing is that traders such as yourself are trading the same way and making progress. Everyone's going to reach, a different level at a different time, depending on availability, depending on their work schedule, depending on their financials and stuff like that. But one thing you can never take away is the skill. So you don't even have to trade on a live account or a prop firm. You could trade in a demo if you wanted to, as long as you're not gambling, right?
Right.
So if you go out and you take batting practice and you go to the park and you take batting practice, the whole team does batting practice that day. It's not game time. They're working on their skill level. They have hitting coaches that are watching them. They have hitting coaches that are telling them to wait, don't overstride, don't do all of these things, and become a better ball player or a better hitter, right? We as ball players or athletes have to work on things where our weaknesses are. What is our weakness? We have to identify that. I cannot identify your weakness. You have to identify your weakness based on the objective, systematic approach to the market. What do you think about that?
I think that's true. I think that each person's going to be a little different. I think my weakness, if I was analyzing my trades, I would say that I don't know. I would say that my weakness historically has been holding on to trades, like bad trades, a little too long. But I feel like I've gotten a little bit better these past 2 weeks because of the way that I've been sizing my trades, to where when I go into it, even if like it starts moving against me a little bit, I can hold on to trades. Like if you oversize, the slightest little pullback is going to like knock you out. Where I feel like if you size appropriately, you can have a lot more wiggle room. Allow the market to breathe more, using your language. And then what I find is that when this is kind of, I would say, one of my strengths, I'm not afraid to like size in when I feel like everything is aligning. And it's not even a feeling. It's like you can see it objectively. Like when it all aligns, I can see it, and I will size into the trade. Like I will add to it, let it pump for like a candle or two, and then immediately get out. And then I'll wait for it to pull back, and then I'll hit it again. And I can usually do that a few times. Like if you look at those charts on Friday, like you get, I'll ride it up, get out, wait for the pullback, hit it again. And I can usually do that like 2 to 3 times before I'm just kind of out, you know? And I would say that's one of my strengths is I guess being able to be aggressive when I need to, when I feel like it's the right time to be aggressive. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't know, every trader is a little different. I have, I feel like what's been nice is that you've given me a framework of sorts to where I feel like I can take my traits, my personality, and just work within that system. And I've been finding a system that really works for me, you know? It's been 2 weeks, been very successful these past 2 weeks. And I'm just looking forward to more trades next week, you know? It's crazy, you know, and I try not get too attached to, I would say the bigger narrative of like what's going on in the markets. Like I used to do a lot of like fundamental analysis and look at the stuff that was like going on in the world. Like right now, people have been, especially gold has just been on this like historic run, hitting like day after day after day, hitting like all-time highs. People have been rushing to gold centers to actually like buy physical gold, even though it's like top of the market, like insane gold frenzy. And people have been trying to call the top for so long, and it just keeps going. It does make you wonder, like, is there something like horrific looming, you know, some terrible thing? Because, you know, typically people pile into gold when there's a lot of instability and they don't know where else to put money.
Well, that's because they don't know how to. That's because they don't know how to trade objectively.
And that's what I was about to get at, is that like I don't really care if we're at all-time highs. I don't really care what's going on in the world and with the current events. All I'm looking at is the chart that's in front of me. And it's nice knowing that whether we're going to be in these like historically bullish times or going through some kind of recession, it doesn't really matter to me because the chart's the chart and I'm just going to trade it the same either way. So
that's nice, isn't it?
It's very, very nice.
So I wanted to touch up on the pullback thing because I don't want other traders to understand. I don't want other traders to get confused. I don't teach a pullback strategy, right?
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to be a little vague. You know what I'm?
Yeah. But I just want to clarify for the community is the reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, the reason Will is able to hit those pullbacks when price, because for one, it's a better price, is because Will understands completely where he is at in the market and the reasons that he's going long prior, because risk starts before the execution of a trade. So it's not like seeing a chart go northbound or southbound, and just because you have a pullback doesn't mean you're going to continue to trade the chart south or short or long or bullish, right? So when we talk about trading, we're talking about trading just in general because we don't talk about the specifics. So I just wanted to clarify that for the community in a sense that don't just look for pullbacks because you don't even know where you're at in the market. There's a big percentage.
Yeah, I would echo that. I would say when I'm like, it's exactly what you're saying. I have confidence in knowing which side of the market I'm on. So if it's bullish and I'm seeing all signs that we're going up, I will at the same time know that price isn't going to go up and up in like a straight line forever. It has to eventually kind of run out of steam. And so I will be in a trade until I feel kind of comfortable, like when to exit a trade when it's in profit, because a trade could always continue running way longer than after you close it. Where you feel comfortable, I tend to go for roughly a dollar amount, a general dollar amount that I'm looking for, or I'll also see like if a candle was pretty like expansive, like it moved really, really fast, it often will snap kind of back just as quickly, and you just kind of get really good at knowing that like it will probably snap back, but everything is still bullish. And so I'll hit it, I get out, and then I just wait for essentially the snapback, but then I wait for all of the stuff that we're looking for, the gems, to realign, and then I hit it again. It's not like I'm just hitting buy, like, because you could also get caught entering at the top, and then it really starts like reversing, and then you're screwed. And so I don't know. I've also been recently experimenting a little bit with a bit of a like scaling out. Like if I enter in and I'm a little heavy, after it reaches like kind of a certain level, I will scale out sometimes like about half my position. That way I can just breathe with the market a little bit better. And I find that even though I take a little bit of a loss, if everything starts lining back up again, I can just re-add to that position and it's fine. And I don't know, these are like little things that I've been experimenting with that have been useful to me.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's part of the system, right? Like, you have when we talk about anything that would be subjective is okay. How many counts can you buy? What is your leverage size, right? So I don't say, listen, you have to use 5 micros or you have to use 4 minis. Everyone's financial ability is going to be different, so therefore they have to approach it. When we go ahead and take profits, profit is profit, right? So whether it's $100 or whether it's $500, if you take the profit, you realize the gains. If you don't take the profit, then it's unrealized, right? So
yes,
that's, in other words, taking a profit basically based on your account, because it's going to vary, right? You might have $800 to get a payout, and now you're up 900. You go, okay, that's enough. Boom, I'm out. Yes, you press the button because based on your financial, based on your account size, based on all of these other, but those are facts, right? Yes. So pressing a button is not a fact, right? I mean, you press a button and your brain is telling you to press the button, right?
Yes.
So based on all of those facts, which are objective, which you can go back and say, listen, because I had some accounts that were in, or an account this week that was in a little bit of drawdown, and I hung through it, and I ended up in profit and closed it and was able to take a payout on it. So it is what it is. You're seeing the thing, but the number one thing is trading itself is not subjective. You cannot you need to find gems in the market and put them all together with the highest probability and a skill. It is an actual skill. To be able to analyze a chart is an actual skill. You cannot analyze a chart if you haven't been taught how to properly analyze a chart. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you don't really know what you're looking at. In that case, you need to know. Yes, you need to know what you're looking at to properly analyze it.
And why, right?
Right. Yep.
So with that said, I appreciate you taking the time, time out and stuff like that. And I haven't had much time either. Is there anything you would like to say or add to the community, or, talk about your feelings inside about next week? And, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose next week. What matters is you have a skill, and that when you do lose, eventually one day, you're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
I should be clear. Like it's not like every day is green and I'm just like on a heater. I do lose. I take losses. Like I'll give you an example. On Thursday of last week, I was in NQ or MNQ, and I went long on what I thought like was a good long, and I want to say it was Thursday, and Trump started running his mouth about like soybeans or some shit, and like the market completely overreacted. It had to do with like and it just started tanking, and it got to the point where I was like in some drawdown. I ended up exiting my position at just shy of, I want to say I was like $700, close to $700 in drawdown, when I finally was like, I'm really not liking this, and I got out. And I didn't overreact, I was like, okay, let's just look for another good setup. And I ended up closing that day a little over, it was like about $250 in profit. So I recovered the 700 and made
about $1,000 swing.
Yes. And in the past, that would have completely tilted me, especially when I was copy trading. Like I would have been like, I'm 700 down on 5 accounts now. But the whole time I was like, I could always rotate to another account. But I was like, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to oversize or anything. I'm just going to look for another good opportunity and just trust the system, trust the process. And I was able to swing back and some, close out the day a little in profit. Now, there are some days where I have taken some L's, and sometimes what I'll do is I will then rotate to another account, then trade that one until I get like into a level that I feel comfortable taking a payout, and then I'll go back to the account that took a hit and then trade that to get it back up to like within the buffer, the healthy level, and so I'm finding I'm learning how to rotate through the accounts, and it's been amazing. Like so I still take losses. I just feel like I'm managing the losses better. I'm not getting like tilted. I'm like, I know the system works, and if I just keep, if I'm patient, it ends up becoming just a, I don't know, it's not, I don't want to say the word probabilities. It's just sort of like you just got to be patient. Take the trades that are good, and it'll pan out. Losses are inevitable, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's impossible to have 100% win rate, but my hit rate has been, depending on the account, it's been in the 80s. I've had it around 82% on one account, like as low as 82, and on another account I had it as high as like 80, close to 87%, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Nice, huh?
Yeah.
So it would be nice to only lose 13% or 18% of the time, right? And then we have to go back, okay? Because when I hear that you got out of a trade, is the question would be, did you get in too early? Did you not allow the market to move? So when we talk about that you got in some losses or a $700 drawdown, I wish I would have been able to see that chart to even comment on it. But
I think what happened on that one is that, based off what I saw on the chart, especially looking at it in hindsight, I did get in a little too early, and moreover, the unexpected news, as much as they're Trump, for better or for worse, has made the markets very volatile. And he will say the slightest thing, like not last Friday, but the Friday before that, he was like, we're doing 100% tariffs on China. And the market hadn't priced that in. And you saw like a $1.7 trillion swing of like money that was lost in the market. Crypto was on fire and everything. And then on Sunday open, he's like, everything's cool, guys. Like, no need to worry.
Yeah, but see, that's tradable, right? That's tradable. We like that.
So
it's tradable.
I agree. And I
like, you capitalize on that. That's why it doesn't matter to me what they say. It's the market's so manipulated that I love those big moves down. I love that understanding the chart. I don't care what they say.
Yes. I feel like the volatility that he's created has been has created some pretty huge opportunities to capitalize on some like unusually large moves. And I've been thankful, and I attribute this to just knowing what to look for because of you. I've been able to be on the right side of a lot of those trades, so it hasn't been a big deal to me. That one in particular, when you mentioned the soybeans, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I took it. But it's like, how you can't really account for that. You know what I mean? It's like he just said something and it's just blah.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I know what you're talking about, where the market, but don't quote me on this because I haven't been able to watch the market at all. I've been able to trade a couple. What's that?
You're still in recovery mode.
Yeah, so it's literally seconds to a few minutes, or not even at the open, or might be an hour later after the open. It's not been consistent for me to be able to look at the chart. But I believe that what you're talking about is the market had chosen to take off bullish early on and then did a reversal, and I believe that's where you got caught.
That's exactly right. Everything was bullish, and then it just
yes, it had a nice pump. It had a nice pump up, and then shortly after it reversed and was aggressive also.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, but yes. So we'll go ahead. We can go ahead and talk off of.
I will tell you what I ended up doing is, as it was dumping and I'm in drawdown, I end up cutting it around 700. It starts kind of retracing a little, going back up, and then I waited for things to align, and then I took a short and I rode it even further down, and that's how I was able to recover the loss.
Sure, and you understood. This is what's most important, and I'm trying to get out to the public, is exactly what you said. Is you waited. So just because a stock makes a higher high and a higher low and a higher high and a higher low does not mean the stock is bullish.
Right.
Okay, so exactly what you said is you were in it, you ended up taking your loss, but we'll talk after this, and I want to give you some information after on how I would have approached that. So once again, you waited, and you waited for something that was objective in the market, something that I teach in the market, because you can't guess. Like, I'm going to know if you say, Rich, I don't use the system that you teach. I would say, well, let's look at the system you're using, because if you go against it, you're going to lose.
Yes.
Would you agree on that? It's going to be 13% win and 80% loss. Like, it's become gambling.
I think if you go against the system, you lose. And I was looking at that, and I was like, okay, the market was bullish. It's so obviously flipped bearish. And when I started seeing everything align to where I was like, we're gonna we're not, it went way down. It went down, but we're going to go even a lot further down. I just knew it. And that's when I reversed the position, took it short, and sure enough, it went a lot further down. But
did you find the gems that I pointed out for you to confirm that it's going down?
Yes, and that's what gave me the confidence to reverse it, because I was like, old me would have just kept holding the long position. But here I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, it's definitely going to keep going down. And it makes
not based on your opinion, right? I mean, you're looking.
Based off the price action and what I was seeing, all the gems lining up, it was like, you got it. Like, if the way I would phrase it is, if I just wasn't already in a trade and I came to the charts and I was looking at them, it would be, what I would be doing is wanting to take a short. And so that was a cue to me where, like, you are so obviously like on the wrong side of the market right now, and it's going to keep going. So just flip the position, and it worked great.
Nice, very good, very good. Well, man, what a great process and progress that you've had. I mean, you're applying, you're learning each and every day, and it's just going to get stronger and stronger. It's crazy.
It is crazy to me, because the hit rate's been great, and we've had 2 successful weeks, and I keep saying it, but I'm like, man, I wonder.
Well, 3 successful because you had to pass your test. So the money that you're actually making, okay, let's just back up a little bit, right?
Yeah, that would have been.
You've had to make
5K, really. 3K to the target, then 2K for the buffer. So 5K.
But let's figure this out though. 5 tests, 15,000.
25K. Yeah.
5 tests, 15,000, 3,000 a piece. Another 2K, 10,000. That's 25K before your payouts.
Yes.
So now 25K plus your 11,000, $36,000 worth of skill.
Good point.
$36,000 worth of skill. Just because the end result is littler than the 25,000, what I am explaining, what I've always said, it's easier to trade a live account.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we put that in our head, that it's easier, where all these fake gurus out there and all these gamblers that say are you on a live account? Ignore them. They don't fucking know what they're talking about. I'm telling you that right now. They don't fucking know what they're talking about. It's just common sense. You have to have that $25,000 skill first. And you prove that. You keep proving that. And then you go and you start to get the rewards. And the companies, some companies, not all, are willing to pay you for that. What a great feeling. So always think about what it takes to get there. And if you get to the end and you don't have a payout for some unknown reason, remember what it took to get there.
Yeah.
Right? It's like training for a marathon. You can train, you can have the best coaches and everything else, and it might not be your day. Or you might not just be naturally fast or have the endurance others do. Right? But still, you cannot take that skill away. What you're doing is awesome. I mean, it's awesome if you look at the totality of the picture.
It gives me a feeling of freedom, knowing that, like, I can make money from my laptop, from my phone, and with, not through an employer, just by trading the market. It does give me a sense of freedom. And also, like I was saying, like, irrespective of whatever the market conditions are, but it doesn't really matter to me. And so, yeah, man, I can't thank you enough. This has been amazing. I wish that I had connected with you like over a year plus ago, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But if anybody's like watching and they're wondering like, should I do it? Like, Rich could teach a legitimate skill, something that you're not going to find in a YouTube video or a book. And it is tremendously improved my trading, and highly, highly recommend. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, bro, for everything you've been doing for me. It's been an awesome journey, and it's only been a month.
Nice, and thank you for those kind words. Thank you for that, being genuine. I am honored. I am honored to be able to teach you and to mentor you, and you having trust in me, because you took the risk, right? You took the risk. I can only say so much, and whether people believe me or not is up to them. To me, I'm just going to keep trading. But I want to give back to the community as I'm giving back to you. And actually, you are seeing results. Other mentees are seeing results. Other mentees are seeing the other mentees' results and stuff like that. And it's all based on schedule. And one thing that we can all learn from this is that if the trader is really having a problem or an issue that feels that they're not making any progress, they're up $2,000 one week, and then next week they're down $10,000. Give pause and say, listen, it's not natural to do that. It is not natural. A skill will not allow that to happen. Does that make sense? And I'm not talking about.
It does.
I'm not talking about leverage. All of a sudden you lost 20,000. You don't have a skill. No, it's about how many trades do you take? How many trades? That is someone that's seasoned, right? You are taking trades after trades after trades. You're not looking for one and done. Does that make sense? You are actually taking the trades as you see them based on an objective, systematic approach.
Yeah, I will. Sometimes I will be in a trade. I'll have already traded, and then I see an opportunity, and there's like a part of me that's like, "You've already done well today," but I'm like, "I can't not take this trade. Like the setup is too perfect. Like I have to take it."
I know. That's why I can't turn on the chart. I cannot turn on the chart, and it's very difficult for me. If that chart's moving and I'm on a mentorship, I'm like, man, this is like perfect.
I know exactly what you mean.
There's a lock button up there. So unfortunately on Quantower, I can unlock it, which is not good either, because I'll do there and I want to take a photo or take some stuff just for my documentation or whatever. And I'm on Quantower and I'm like, oh, here we go again. I'm like, dang it, should I can't watch this, so you just have to walk away, right? But the skill, but when you have a skill and you have a fastball coming down the pipe, waist high, you're going to take your hack, man. You are going to take that hack. And that's when you have a skill.
Yes. You have to hit it. The only ones that I will say this is just a little thing. I found that generally the market kind of moves in cycles, and you'll have like a pretty big expansive move in the morning, and then like around, I would say noon my time. This is Mountain Standard Time, so maybe like by 1-2 o'clock Eastern Time, price will kind of start, not always, but it'll oftentimes start to lose steam, and sometimes it'll even start to retrace a little bit. And I find that the moves after 12 just aren't as big, and the opportunities just aren't as great. And so like I'll try and trade from the morning all the way up until about like 11 or so my time, 10, 11, and that's where I feel like the best opportunities are. And then it kind of like dies out. I assume that the whole algorithm thing, the more you see the gems and you see it, it all feels so fake and manipulated. But I do feel like I'm starting to like I see the fakeness and I see the manipulation. So I'm learning how to just like go with the algorithm, go with the flow.
If you know what gems to look for in the market, right? And a gem appears in the market, okay, and you know what to look for, and you know what that means with a high probability. And then you watch price action after that gem has printed, right? You understand and you're like, this is bullshit. This is BS. This is BS. This is BS. Okay, 100%. I'm gonna smack it. And then you're down. It's so fake. It's like buyers and sellers did not come in there. No. Sweeping a high and low didn't matter. Taking a higher high and a higher low didn't matter. A lower low and a lower didn't matter. It's all fake.
Yes.
If you don't know how to read the market that's fake, then you trying to guess what the market's going to do or gamble, the only way you can gamble is if you have a constant cash flow coming in. So,
I 100% agree. I'll see things like, let's say the market is so clearly like showing me that it's bearish, and then I'll get like one candle that just like out of nowhere. I'm like, that candle is completely BS. And I know that they're just trying to like bait people into like taking longs, it was reversing. And then I just sit there and wait, and then the very next candle is like, look, it just dumps back again. I'm like, yeah, because it was bearish. Like, it's been awesome. Like just being able to see it. I do find, like I said, though, after around noon, I will usually kind of, even if something's kind of aligned, I will generally kind of just step away and be like, let's just wait until the daily candle kind of flips over. Because take profit, I have to like have all my positions closed by 3 o'clock my time, or you can't have open positions during that time or it'll like invalidate your account. And so I'll usually generally just wait until the market opens back up again at 4 o'clock for me. And then generally I don't even like to trade until we get closer to the London hours. If you just kind of stick to the like London and New York, those are the best times to trade in my opinion. All those like Sydney and Tokyo hours, sometimes you'll see moves during that, but I feel like there's way more manipulation during those hours. Just from general, like personal experience. My wife has been the most supportive, like ever since I got into trading like 2 years ago, she's been the most supportive, and seeing the results come these past 2 weeks, it's been like just emotional for me and for her, and just seeing like the success, and we attribute that to you. Wish we'd found you sooner. Just so grateful for you, man, and for this path that I'm on. I feel like the hardest drug to wean off is like a salary, the 9 to 5, and I feel it. Like I feel the shackles. I I hate having to go into the office every single morning and just sit at the computer and feel trapped there. This is giving me some hope that like it's just putting me on like a different path and trajectory of life. And I feel like I'm still at the very, very beginning, because like the past even though I've been trading for 2 years, it's been mostly garbage, just mostly filling my head with a bunch of bad habits and bad information. And only this past month do I feel like I'm going through like a unlearning and a reconditioning phase. And so
detox.
Really, detox. I feel like I'm at the very, very beginning still of this trading journey, and just so grateful for you, for what you're doing for me and my family. Thanks, dude.
Thank you. Like I said, I am honored. I am honored to have you as a mentee, and for one, it's a mentee, friend, part of the community, the family, and stuff like that. We want everyone to succeed. I'm not shy about somebody making 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever. I want people to succeed. Right? We don't hold any punches, and we just speak the truth. And if we can just speak the truth about, the process, where we are as a trader, rather than just say we're going to get it one day, because you are proven that if you listen and you apply exactly what you're taught, that you're going to have the highest probability of being successful at trading. And if you just repeat it over and over, could you imagine 20s and 30s of thousands of trades doing the same thing? It's something that you'll never, when you see a chart on TV, on the news, if you see a COVID chart, you're going to understand where COVID is going, right? It's weird. If you go back in history and you look, you're like, this is the same crap.
Dude, I wish I could have been trading and taking advantage of all that volatility during that time, all those COVID run-ups, those pumps.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
At least I'm taking advantage of all this Trump craziness. That's been fun.
Nice. Well,
it's been awesome. Thank you. And I agree with you. Like it feels like trading's one of those things where it feels like there's no cap to the skill and the ceiling that you can reach, like, because it all becomes just a game of precision and leverage. Yes. And the more precise you can be, the more leverage you can use. And I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Now you're starting to understand what I say is leverage, right? When you have a skill, you put the leverage on top of that skill, the sky's the limit.
Yep.
Right? The sky's the limit. Whether you have a trailing drawdown, you don't have a trailing drawdown in your live account. You don't have a 30% consistency rule in your live account. You don't have all of these things in your live account. They're changing the rules with the pattern day traders. They're reducing that cost down. I don't know where they're at on that, but there's a lot of things happening. But eventually, the best thing to do, and this is an opinion of mine, but the best thing to do is to trade on the prop firm, which has a third party, all of the performances, and it keeps you honest. It'll keep you honest in the saddle. And if you can take payouts, continuous payouts, not gambling from the prop firms, not YOLOing one count to 150, 150,000, it's not impressive. But if you got to 150,000 and you had 1,500 trades, that might be impressive, right? 1,500 trades. So what we want to do is trade, right? So we trade. I taught you how to trade the market. It's not, I only take 2 trades a day. I only take 1 setup a day. That gives me pause in the sense that maybe they really don't understand the market. And it's obvious they don't understand the market, because we don't limit ourselves. We just view the market and allow the market to show that we can, and we execute that trade if we're in a position to execute it. Not on a phone, but if we're actually sitting there and have our mindset that we're trading and we're looking for the gems in the market. And once they appear and we understand what price is actually doing, we take that execution and we take that profit. Mm-hmm. That skill is going to get stronger and stronger. I am a lifetime student, and I say that all the time, that I'm a lifetime student, because my trading gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Every trade that I take is a learning experience.
Yeah.
And when it's a positive learning experience, those positive moments continue to thrive and continue to build and snowball into something that's I can't explain. Mm-hmm. I can't explain it.
I know what you mean.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Will. Really appreciate it. I'm sure the community appreciates it. And stay focused. And we still have a lot to learn. So it gets better and better and stronger and stronger. So once again, thank you for your time, and well said.
Thanks, Rich.
Peace.
Until next time.
Peace.